The Spanish Inquisition. Just hearing those words conjures up images of dark dungeons, relentless torture, and priests burning heretics at the stake. This horrifying picture is what historians call the Black Legend, a story of unique Spanish cruelty and fanaticism. But what if I told you that much of what you think you know about the Inquisition is actually a myth, a powerful piece of propaganda that has survived for centuries? Let's separate the facts from the fiction. The Black Legend wasn't born out of thin air. It was a deliberate smear campaign, fueled by the political and religious rivalries of the 16th and 17th centuries. Protestant nations, especially England and the Netherlands, were locked in conflict with Catholic Spain. With the brand new printing press at their disposal, they flooded Europe with pamphlets and engravings depicting the Inquisition as a monstrous tool of Spanish tyranny. It was a brilliant way to demonize their enemy, portraying them as backward, bloodthirsty, and intolerant. This narrative was so effective that it has colored our perception ever since. So, let's look at the numbers. The myth paints a picture of constant, mass executions. But historical records tell a very different story. Over its nearly 350-year history, the Spanish Inquisition processed tens of thousands of cases. Modern historical research estimates that only about 1.8% of those accused were actually condemned to death. Now, any execution is a tragedy, but this figure shatters the image of a mindless killing machine. In fact, during the same period, secular courts across Europe were far more brutal and had much higher execution rates for common crimes. The Inquisition, in many ways, was a more structured and predictable legal system than what most people faced. What about torture? This is the centerpiece of the Black Legend. Yes, the Inquisition did use torture, but so did every other court system in Europe at the time. What's surprising is that the Inquisition had strict rules governing its use. Torture sessions were limited in duration, a doctor had to be present, and it was forbidden to cause permanent injury, shed blood, or endanger the accused's life. This was a far cry from the unregulated brutality common in secular dungeons. Many inquisitors themselves were skeptical of torture's effectiveness, believing that people would confess to anything just to make the pain stop. Its use was actually quite rare compared to the popular image. And here's a real shocker: witchcraft. While the rest of Europe was gripped by a witch craze that saw tens of thousands of people, mostly women, executed, the Spanish Inquisition was remarkably skeptical. In 1610, after a major investigation, the chief inquisitor declared that he believed most accusations of witchcraft were delusions and fantasies. As a result, Spain had one of the lowest rates of witch executions in all of Europe. People accused of witchcraft were more likely to face a terrifying fate in a secular court in Germany or Switzerland than before the Spanish Inquisition. So why does the myth of the uniquely evil Spanish Inquisition persist? Because it's a powerful and adaptable story. Over the centuries, it has been used by Enlightenment philosophers to criticize religion, by revolutionaries to attack the old monarchy, and even in modern times as a symbol of intolerance and oppression. The Black Legend is not really about what happened in Spain centuries ago. It's about the ongoing battles over politics, religion, and freedom. By understanding its origins, we can start to see the Spanish Inquisition not as a simple horror story, but as a complex and often misunderstood chapter of history. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into history as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. See you next time.